For over 90 years, I felt the sea around my bow. From the moment I was born, I knew that my life would be a busy one. I'm a sailor, a teacher, and an ambassador. I'm Juan Sebastián Elcano, a brigantine schooner with many a day's navigation behind in my wake, and the soul of the great explorer. I follow in the footsteps of Elcano, a navigator from Guetaria, who in 1522 changed the history of navigation maps by completing the first voyage around the globe. Welcome aboard. I've seen each new generation of Spanish Navy officers above and below my deck. Many, many, more than 6,000 midshipmen. Every 6 months, my narrow cabins are filled with 70 new students eager to learn the noble craft of the sea.
This training cruise has been a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me. I never would have imagined that I'd be here for 6 months on board the Juan Sebastián Elcano sailing across the Atlantic.
These 5.5 months have been a before and after experience for me. They make you more mature as a person. It kind of marks that point between being in a sort of bubble at school and what it's like to be out at sea with a crew.
I'm a small world that sails the seas, a miniature town with 250 crew.
The first thing we do is an inspection. The master of the midshipman's company reviews our uniforms, checking that everything's properly cleaned, ironed and so on. And after that, at 8 o'clock, we start class.
They are my essence, my reason for living. Look at them. They're so full of expectation, so young.
We've been sailing, visiting different ports, and above all, training to be naval officers.
We live in modern times, but for me, always surrounded by the sea, time seems to stand still.
Return to the past and learn to observe the sky. Learning to navigate by finding our position from the sun and the stars used to be normal practice. There was no GPS or anything like that in the old days.
Being at sea, your life is always at the mercy of the winds. When you have to get back on course, the bosun's whistle gives the orders. All hands on deck.
I think a sailor these days has to learn to work as a team. We need to know how to get on with our teammates, to always trust the commander and trust others, both higher ranks and crewmates, as well as lower ranks.
It may seem like an easy task, but believe me, it's not. More than 150 people work together, and each has their own mission. Sometimes it's to lower the sails, sometimes stow them, so that the sails on my masts catch the wind that draws me ahead across the open sea.
The ship has 5 masts, 4 vertical ones plus the bowsprit. Each is named after old school ships that were used in the Navy for training midshipmen. When the all-hands-on-deck order is given and the sails are set, the Elcano draws a beautiful silhouette against the sky. You always have to keep some respect for the sea because it's impressive, and all of nature's strength can play tricks on you and give you bad days. After lunch in the afternoon, activity stops for a while, and we have some free time. Whoever wants to can do another sports session. we use the time to study.
We spend most of our time in the midshipmen's quarters. We have all our meals there, classes, lectures, and we often watch films. We study there too. It's our library. It's mostly a place where we can spend time together.
On board, there's always hustle and bustle, but my sailors also find free moments to relax and switch off.
Hi, Mum. How are you? It's Eduardo. Well, we left Getxo a few days ago, and so far everything's been going well.
Whenever I enter a harbor, it's like a big party. To tell the truth, I feel well loved. I'm the floating embassy, a small piece of Spain that sails around the world. This is where I receive my guests. Welcome to the captain's quarters, where I keep my treasure, the gifts I have received during my voyages. In the smoker's cabin, I keep more than 50 keys to cities I've visited.
The concert by the ship's band is an important part of each day because it marks the end of the day. We plan our course and all the crew gathers around the quarterdeck. We applaud, we sing. It makes up for the tight discipline during the day.
At my figurehead, I hear the waves breaking under the gaze of Minerva, my guardian.
When night comes, the ship continues sailing and never sleeps. There are always people on duty.
Officer, with your permission.
There's also work to do to get the ship ready for sailing the next day in the morning.
Every night, from midnight to dawn, they wash down my decks with salt water, to the rhythm of the bosun's whistle. They don't know it yet, but they'll soon discover that this voyage we have made together has transformed their souls.
Sailing on the Juan Sebastián Elcano is a unique experience. When I'm an officer, if I get the chance, I'd like to come back and experience this training voyage from another point of view, which would seem completely different.
I love sailing, and I love this ship. I think it's because of all those years it's lived through. I just love it. I really, really like it.
This is a very special moment for all of them. After so many months away from home, they're eager to disembark. They leave with a rucksack full of intense experiences, of enormous effort. I fulfilled my mission. I'm already part of them, and they're part of me. See you soon. Fair winds and following seas.